I feel very fortunate to still see such high-level commentary from you today. I agree with every word of your comment. The classification of tenors into four categories, leggero, lyric, spinto, and dramatic, was a concept introduced by the Italian academic school in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. I do not agree with this classification, and neither did Caruso. Caruso himself was critical of this classification system. He believed that the art of singing should transcend overly strict technical classifications and focus on the expression of sound and emotion. Who introduced this classification? No one specific. It was proposed by laypeople outside the vocal world for the sake of easier management of the vocal community. When Volpi subtly criticized Tito Schipa for being overly lyrical and not holding dramatic qualities, the public wrongly accepted it, leading to the clear emergence of classifications for tenors. This had a negative impact on the vocal community. People became satisfied with their natural vocal qualities and were reluctant to challenge dramatic repertoire, ending their careers prematurely. If Caruso had lived a half-century later, the great Caruso might not have existed. Classification has restricted the development of singers, which is why today there are so few who can sing dramatic roles. Volpi's singing, based on my breath distribution analysis, is at the 430 position. His breath support is shallow, just above the posterior diaphragm, and when singing, it is in the back chest, which is not suitable for dramatic roles, but he still sang them. However, I do not think he sang them well. Volpi made significant contributions to vocal theory, but he never fully understood the difference between his voice and Caruso's, so his efforts were in vain. As for Delmonico as a vocal teacher, he couldn't clearly explain vocal technique. His criticism of Domingo, swaying from side to side, shows that Delmonico himself did not understand. Why does Domingo struggle? Struggle. Just by listening to his voice and examining his breath placement, it's easy to identify. Domingo completely lacks breath support below the posterior diaphragm, all the way down to the bottom of the abdomen. His singing, at the moment of sound production, concentrates all the breath in the nasal cavity. When he applies tension in the nasal cavity, the breath in the mouth tries to induce abdominal support, which is a major error for tenors worldwide. The correct breath function is always like Caruso's, using abdominal breath to guide the note's breath. My theory, after a century of human existence, no one understands it. It seems that you, a great vocal expert, may understand. I'm not just discussing theory. I can demonstrate on Skype the singing technique of all male tenors. I believe that a commentator can only be qualified to evaluate singers if they themselves can sing in the same way. You must sing well. Thank you for your high-level commentary.